What's up, guys? My name is Andrew, and over the past 12 months, I've back tested 2,500 penny stock breakouts, and I found 6 setups with over a 70% win rate, and I got the receipts to back it up. I created a customized dashboard where you can filter through everything from free float, market cap, price of the stock, the volume on the stock, so you can see the real variables that matter when you're trading penny stock breakouts. And in this video, my newest one-on-one student says she feels better about trading over the past 2 days than she's felt for the past few months. Reason why? That's because she has access to that dashboard and she has access to the data. If you guys want to take your trading to the next level, especially for you guys and girls that have over $5,000 in your portfolio, do yourself a favor, click that link down below, send me a message on IG or on Facebook, and I'll see if you guys are a good fit. Enjoy the video.
I truly feel better over the last 2 days than I have over the last 2 months.
Let's go. So I see you've already started setting your breakout levels and you were watching AZI.
I was, yeah.
Yep. So for AZI, I was kind of calling that one out in the chat. So we see where the 5-minute candle closed above our breakout level right there. Now, when it was breaking out, did you switch over to the 1-minute time frame?
No, I didn't. I didn't catch this until 10 minutes ago because I had no power. So I just started looking at this.
Yeah, no, all good. I didn't take this one. If you zoom into the 1-minute time frame, I want to just show you exactly why. So if you take a look at that 5-minute candle, it closed at 7:45 a.m. EST. So for the 1-minute candle, go to 7:45 a.m. And then you'll see on the 1-minute time frame that the 7:45 a.m. candle closed red right there, right? Small red candle.
Yep.
That immediately tells me that this is not going to be a green light special. So I immediately disqualify it for the green light special breakout. Now, once you've kind of mastered this setup, I'm going to go over other setups with you that don't necessarily depend on this candle closing green. So just because I didn't trade it right here doesn't mean it couldn't set up for a future setup out of the other strategies I'm going to teach you. However, there is one really, really good thing about having access to my dashboard, and I need to get you access to the dashboard going into next week, is I'm able to look up a ticker and I can easily see how many times I've tracked the breakout on it. So what I found on AZI is that AZI has broken out 4 times over the past 12 months, and it only ran for 10% one time. And the other 3 times, it only ran for like 5%, 6%. So it pumped and dumped like three out of the 4 times that it broke out. So whenever I see a ticker on my dashboard that has a history like that, I typically will just avoid it because, like, if you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me, So the chances of AZI being like a pump and dump and ultimately taking a poop like it is right now, I felt like the chances were too high. It's a Friday. I really don't want to start the day off red. So it's best to just go ahead and avoid this. Now, with that being said, AZI, if you take a look at it, everything looks perfect on it. The price is good. The market cap is below 50 million. The free float is below 50 million. And if you take a look at the profile, the company is from China, which I will trade China stocks. It's just we always got to keep in mind that China stocks are going to move very fast and they're going to be volatile. They're going to hit our take profits, but they're going to be a little sketchy sometimes whenever we're in them. But either way, AZI made it an easy decision for us because that first candle ended up closing red. So, okay. Any questions on that?
Maybe. Let me go back to that 5-minute candle. All right. So even though these two looked good, you're more concerned about this candle closing red.
Yeah. Because what I found is whenever I'm tracking the data, if that first candle closes red, our win rate drops like drastically. We go from like 75 to 80% all the way down to like close to 50%. So they got to line up green. And the reason why is because when the 5-minute time frame is bullish, that's great. Like all of our 5-minute traders, they're going to hop on board. But we also need all of those 1-minute time frame traders to be on board with us too. And a lot of times, if we close red on the first candle or the second candle, we just don't get as much momentum to hit our 10 to 15% TP.
Okay.
So for me, it was a couple things. Number one, the breakout looks great on the 5-minute, but it just didn't look great on the 1-minute, and that made me skip it. Also, too, with the history on the dashboard, being that it pumped it up 3 times in the past, I felt like it was ultimately a good idea for us to skip that one. Now, as you can see, at the 7:45 a.m. candle, that's the candle that breaks above our breakout level and closes. And then when we zoomed into the 1-minute time frame, we saw the 1-minute candle was red, but that next 5-minute candle ends up closing green. If you take a look on the 5-minute time frame. So you see the candle that closes at 7:50 a.m. EST? Got
Yep.
that one? Yep. That one closing green also has a very, very big direct correlation to win rate. There are going to be setups that we take that depend more on the next 5-minute candle closing green. So, for example, like as a base setup, we're looking for green light special breakouts. However, if we get a 1-minute candle that closes red and then ultimately the 5-minute candle closes green, there are setups that we're going to take off of that second 5-minute candle closing green in the future, just so you know.
Okay.
Right now we're going to keep it simple with the green light special breakout, but just so you know, in the future, that next 5-minute candle closing green does typically have a pretty big direct correlation to win rate as well. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's go all the way back to the top of the top gainers list up there. Well, a couple things. Number one, on your turbo trader, we need to make sure that we turn off stop loss and take profit. That's number
Oh,
one.
yep.
Yeah.
Market.
It's always going to be a thing you have to do in the morning. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to get into an order and I accidentally had that turned on. So let's click on PRPH all the way at the top. Okay. Now let's go ahead and set our breakout level on this one. So as you can see, this one was a gapper. So this one gapped up as soon as they dropped news. We went all the way from like 11 cent all the way up to, close to 18 cent. So
Okay.
the current high is going to be at the top of that first 5-minute red candle. And the time on that one is going to be 7:35.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to take a horizontal line and draw it across that level. Nope, not the wick. Remember, I used the body of the candle.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. So that's going to be our breakout level. And I would tell you to set an alert, but we might actually just break out on this candle. So we're actually just going to watch this here for the next 2 minutes. So
Okay.
a couple things here. We want to immediately, as we see this thing breaking out, we got to be able to make fast decisions. So I immediately take a look at price, volume, market cap first. Price is below $1. That's fine. Market cap is 4.8 million. However, that doesn't update in pre-market, and the stock is up 73%. So that market cap is much closer to 6 to 7 million, which is still fine because that's under 50 million. So that's good.
Okay.
Free float is 42.8 million. It's a bit on the higher end, but it's below 50 million, so it's still fine to trade. Typically, like the stocks that make the biggest moves are below 10 million. So I'll keep that in mind, but as long as it's below 50 million, like it's still good to go. And then last thing that I'm taking a look at really quick is going to be the profile. And if we take a look at the profile up there at the top, you'll see that this company is from the United States. So this is like the ideal setup for me. It is the number one top runner in the market right now. Market cap, free float fits the criteria, and it's from the United States. So I want to show you how to boost your win rate even more on the green light special breakout, because there's going to be opportunities for us to double down on these green light special breakouts. So one thing that really, really matters. Actually, we need to zoom into the 1-minute time frame because this might break out right now. Let's see what it does here in this last 30 seconds. So for you, you would use buy at ask if we get a break above right here, but we need to wait 1 more minute. This 1-minute candle right here needs to close above our horizontal line. That would confirm the breakout. Then we're going to wait 1 more minute to see if the next 1-minute candle also closes green.
Okay. So we want this candle and one more to close green.
Yeah, that's correct. 1 second, and we close below the horizontal line. So for this one still hasn't broken out yet. So I wouldn't count it as a breakout because we still haven't closed above the horizontal line that we drew out, our breakout level. Okay.
I don't want to take a trade until we hit this line, correct?
Until a 5-minute, at least one 5-minute candle closes above it. That confirms a breakout. But as that 5-minute candle is closing, that's when we zoom into the 1-minute time frame and make sure the 1-minute candles are trending green, and then we wait 1 more minute, right? So if that 5-minute candle right there would have closed above our horizontal line, that would have confirmed breakout for me, and then I would have been looking on the 1-minute time frame, waiting 1 more minute to see if the next candle closed green, and if it did, that's when I hit the buy button. Does that make sense?
Yeah. This is I think one of my biggest learning curves is getting away from the 10-second and 1 minute and using 1 and 5 minute.
Now, I will use the 15-second when we get into a rocket. Like when we get into a stock that's moving really fast, and you'll hear me say something like, I'm gonna move my stop loss to break even on this one. I'm gonna try and trail it. I typically only do that if the free float is below 10 million, because those are the stocks that typically make big moves. I'll zoom into the 15-second time frame and use some support levels on the 15-second. But that's also too when I start to use the order book a little bit more, and I'm looking for where big buy orders are at on the order book, so I can put like my mental stop loss below those levels. Because if we got big buy orders, those should act as support while the stock is running. Okay, so now what we want to do on PRPH is we want to zoom back out to the 5-minute time frame. All right, so once I zoom into the 1 minute, if it doesn't confirm breakout, I'm immediately zooming back out to the 5-minute, because this is really where I just take a look at everything. I'm only zooming into the 1 minute whenever we confirm a breakout.
Okay.
So right now for PRPH, I can see that the 5-minute candle, we got 3 minutes left. And right now we're breaking above our level. So it looks like this candle is going to close, but we got 3 more minutes. A lot can happen in 3 minutes, so we're going to have to sit here and wait. Now, one thing that I'm watching for right here is okay, so now we're zooming into the 1 minute time frame because this 5-minute candle is about to close. And we're looking at this 1 minute time frame that unfortunately looks like it's about to close red right here. So it doesn't look like this one's going to give us a green light special here. We got 8 seconds left unless we get a big buy order here at the end. It's probably not going to be. Okay, so that 1 minute candle closed red, which tells me that that one is going to be a no-go for the green light special. So there's pros and cons to every strategy. So I do want you to be aware of the con of the green light special breakout. The biggest con is the amount of patience that is required in order to continue to only take these setups. Because if you get if you get at the computer at 7 a.m. and you have to sit here for an hour or 2 hours, or you watch 3 to 4 breakouts and it doesn't give you the green light special breakout, you are gonna feel the urge to take one of these breakouts, right?
Right.
So it's one of those things that we just have to be aware of and just have to have a little bit of discipline, because ultimately, I've done it in the past where I'm like, you know what, I need to take a setup, and then what ends up happening, I get into a trade, I lose, and then I'm looking back at myself and I'm pissed at myself for the day. Like, why did I do that? That was so stupid. I should have just waited, because then a green light special pops up 30 minutes later or 45 minutes later, and I should have took only that trade for the day. So that is the con. But however, if we stay consistent, this is going to be a highly profitable strategy for you. And you're going to avoid a lot of pump and dumps, because a lot of times if the 1 minute candle goes red, and especially if the next 1 minute candle goes red as well, a lot of times those stocks start to pull back a lot, like 15-20%, which obviously we want to be a part of. Okay, so let me type in a little bit of this information on the stock into my tracker. Just so market cap is between 1 to 10, free float is 10 to 50. The dip before the breakout was 31%. The volume on the breakout was 2.16 million.
Sorry, there they go.
That's all right. There's your 4 dogs.
Yep.
And the previous close is 0.1051. I do want to show you something really quick. If you click on quotes up there beside your top gainers list, if you see right there, like in the middle column, you see where it says previous close, it says open low previous close.
Yep.
That previous close is from Wednesday's close. Webull doesn't update it in pre-market for whatever reason. So the real previous close from like yesterday is the green number you see right there. 10 cents, 0.1051. Now that's for pre-market. As soon as market opens, they update all this, and the previous close will be 0.1051. But just so you know, in pre-market, that close is 0.1051.
So that'll update at 9:30. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so we got SGBX. If you want to pull that one up, I saw the boys just post that one in the chat. This one is starting to move here. So we immediately want to take a look at this one. Take a look at the price, market cap, and free float, and tell me if this one fits the bill.
Let's see. Price 290. I like it. Market cap is 13.7. Good. Free float is 5.65. Looks good.
Yeah. Okay. And then let's take a look at the profile.
United States. Okay.
Yeah, the United States. So that fits all of the bills. I've seen SGBX multiple times on the top gainers list. So I know I got some history on this one I can look up for us as well. So for SGBX, I have tracked 7 breakouts for this one, and they've all broken out in the past 6 months. And 5 out of those 7 times it ran for 15%. And 6 out of those 7 times it ran for 10%. So this is one of those scenarios where this one has a good track record. So for SGBX, the most important thing that we're waiting for right now is a pullback. So if we take a look at the percentage gain, it's currently up 17% right now. So the reason why I showed you that previous close is because it's very important. I only count breakouts on stocks that are where the breakout level is at least 17% higher than the previous close, which is
Okay.
exactly at this price right now. So if the candle ends up closing like right in this general area, what I do is I put it in my tracker, and my tracker will tell me what percentage the breakout level is up from the previous day. So it's going to be really close here. It's really according to like where this 5-minute candle closes. I mean, obviously we haven't got a red candle yet, so I can't set a breakout level. But on the 1-minute time frame, you see that long top wick on the 5-minute. That tells me on the 1-minute time frame, it is getting smacked right now.
It is getting smacked right now. Yep.
It is getting smacked. Yeah. So we'll see what happens here. But let me go ahead and add this one to the watch list. So we got SGBX. All right. And then taking a look back at PRPH. See, PRPH is another one of those examples where that 5-minute candle, actually it's going to close red. It was trying to close green. It was so close to closing green. If that 5-minute candle right there would have closed green on PRPH, there's other possible setups. And still, there's still one more setup that I can watch on PRPH. So I'm going to keep that one on watch as well.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a look at the next one on the top gainers list. It's funny. We got PRPH that's up 87%, and then we got Fold that's up 29%. That's the next biggest runner. So if you take a look at this one, I'm not even going to get you to analyze this one, but this typically happens when there's some type of like merger that happens or a buyout. Yep. So what happened with this company is there was a buyout deal, right? And this thing is literally just going to go sideways for the rest of the day. Market cap is at 3.3 billion. This is a much larger company. We're just going to completely skip over that one.
Okay? Oh, that's huge. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, it's not going to make a good move. The stats aren't good for that one. And then we have ILAG. I don't know what's going on with ILAG. I don't know why it's on our top gainers list right now. It's got $4,000 worth of volume right now for pre-market. It says it's up 27%, but I don't even see any candlesticks right here. So we're just going to completely skip over that one because obviously that one doesn't have any price action.
Okay.
Let's go down to the next one, which is going to be RENX.
Okay.
Now, RENX, I want you to zoom out a little bit on your chart so we can see all of the price action from pre-market and after hours. Yep. So you see that high that was set is going to be at 4:25 a.m. EST. It's the very large green candle all the way to the left. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was the high, right? So let's go ahead and set a horizontal line across the top of the body of that candle. Yeah, perfect. And then you can see a little bit later on where we break above that level in the 5-minute time frame. That's going to be the 6:15 a.m. EST candle. So it's going to be a couple candles to your left, 6:15 a.m. Yeah, that one. You see where that 5-minute candle closes above that level?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that means we had a breakout on this one at 6:15 a.m. EST. I count any breakout that happens after 6 a.m. So, and I only trade first breakouts. I don't trade second breakouts or third breakouts. So for RENX, this one is disqualified for that reason. And the reason why I don't trade from 6 to 7 a.m. is because for breakouts specifically, even with the green light special breakout, the win rate isn't high enough to be profitable. I've tried every which way to find profitable setups from 6 to 7 a.m. and just like the numbers aren't there for me to trade that time frame at all. Maybe it'll change in the future, but for the past year, it's been pretty horrible from 6 to 7 a.m. So I've continued to count those as breakouts. I don't ever take them because just the win rate is pretty low on them. But for this one, for RENX, this one is disqualified for me because it already broke out once, and I'm not going to take a second breakout on it. Does that make sense?
Okay. Oh, let me turn her off. Sorry, he's somewhere in the background. I thought I muted him. There we go. So when you say like first and second breakout, this is my first. Is this my first breakout?
No. That's just your first move up.
Okay.
I only count a breakout as like we have to have at least one red candle in the 5-minute time frame, and then we need a 5-minute green candle to close above our previous level. So that first candle that you put the horizontal line on, that's just
Hmm.
I would call that the original move. You might hear me say like that's the original move, right?
Okay. Yep.
And then we get the pullback, and then at 6:15 a.m. EST, that's when we get the breakout.
Gotcha. That's your first breakout. Okay.
That's the
So
first.
you would not trade after the first breakout.
And the reason why is because I can't confidently give you any data on second and third breakouts because I didn't track it. Because it would be way too much time for me to track second and third breakouts for every single one of these stocks. I didn't have the capacity to do that this year. So while this is what I'll tell you, I don't have the data for second and third breakouts. If at any given point in time you want to take a second and third breakout, I do believe zooming into the 1 minute time frame and watching the 1 minute candle go green, green, like basically a green light special, I do believe that is probably more than likely on a scale of probability true for any breakout that you take, whether it be the second, whether it be the third, right? Because I mean, really the big thing is we want to see continuation on both time frames, right? So I don't have the data on the second and third breakouts, so I don't typically take them. But if I do, it would be a green light special breakout. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, I try to stay as disciplined as possible, but you might see over the next 12 months, you'll definitely see times where, I might take a second or third breakout if it's looking really good and it breaks out as a green light special as well. But most times it's going to be a no-go. Right. Okay.
Okay.
So outside of that, typically what I do is I just continue to go through all of the top gainers lists and I set my alerts. I set horizontal lines and I set alerts at the high of the body for each and every single one of them. Now, once I get done with that for pre-market, what I do is I switch over to after hours and then I do the exact same thing for after hours as well. This is super important because a lot of times stocks from the after hours from the day before, they'll die out for all of pre-market. They won't get much price action, but they end up making big pops at market open. So one of the things that I do is I switch over to after hours and I make sure I set horizontal lines across the top and I set alerts on everything. So you don't have to do that right now because you're on a call with me and I have all the alerts set. So if anything breaks out, I'll be able to call it out for us. But
Okay.
as part of your morning routine, this is what you are going to want to do. Now, with that being said, I set alerts on everything because I track all the breakouts. However, for you, you're going to want to go through and disqualify as many as you can. If the market cap is too high, the free float is too high, or if the price is too high, you're not going to want to set alerts on those because obviously you're not going to want to plan, right? Because they don't fit our profile.
So RDAC and LHAI, is those market caps are too high?
Hold on 1 second. What in the world did I just do? I clicked some button on my thing and now my wheel was acting crazy. What was your question?
RDAC and LHAI, are those market caps too high? 77 million and 181 million.
Oh yeah, those are too high. Yeah, too
Okay.
high.
So
So
you
those,
wouldn't really look at those.
no, I wouldn't look at those at all. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let's go back to the 1 day, or not the 1 day, but let's go back to pre-market here, and let's just see what we got. A lot of times, it looks like right now the market is going to put us in a waiting period. Now, if you take a look at PRPH, it's just a perfect example of that is a false breakout that we were able to avoid right there. Because PRPH is pulled back.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so it's pulled back basically 14.8%. Typically,
Wow.
my stop loss is like, for a normal breakout, 15%. So 15 to 20% more than likely I would have got kicked out of that trade if I took the normal breakout on it. Now, the only thing that unfortunately is moving right now is AZI. And AZI has that history of pumping and dumping. And as you can see just from the price action, that's what you can expect out of a Chinese stock. They make big moves up and then they pull back real quick. And then out of nowhere, they make another big move up. So, the Chinese stocks, they are profitable to take when they break out as a green light special breakout. But that's the type of price action that you can expect for the China stocks.
Okay.
But either way, though, we're not going to be trading that one because there's absolutely no setup that I could take on that one. Even when the second 5 minute candle closed green at 750, it having that deep of a pullback, there's no setups that I have in the reservoir for that one. There's nothing in the tool belt that I got for that one off of that type of price action. So the only example, like a good example of what I would give you is what I would count as a second breakout. So like your next breakout level would be at the top right now where 204 is at. So you see like where we just recently hit 210, and then the
Yep.
body of that red candle, the top of it was 204.
Yep.
So if a 5-minute candle closes above that, that would be representative of a second breakout.
Okay. And you wait, this is a China stock?
Yeah, it's a China stock. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. So I mean, really, right now, what we're waiting for is we're waiting for something new to pop up, which we did just get another stock that just popped. It's NRXS. All right. So take a look at the market cap, free float, price profile for me, and let me know if this is something we would trade.
Yes and yes.
And did you take a look at the profile already?
No, sorry. United States.
Yep, United States. It's perfect. Now, question for you: that red candle, that high, that it put in a high at around $3.30, right? So I want you to do a little bit of a quick math here. Here's a quick thing, because sometimes you got to be on your feet with this one. Would I have counted that breakout that just happened right there?
At 338?
Yeah, like literally that 5-minute candle that just closed. Would I have counted that as a breakout?
Well, I want to say yes, but I don't like the top and tail. So
the biggest thing is, one of the things that I want you to remember is I only count a breakout if the breakout level is 17% higher than the previous close. So if we just if we draw a horizontal line, I want you to draw a horizontal line across the 7:45 a.m. EST candle.
7:45. Gotcha.
Yeah, because that was the previous high right there. Right. Just make sure it's across the body, not the wick. Perfect. Now, what we can do to easily see exactly how what percentage that is above the previous close is, there's a couple things. One, you can use the long position tool. I think this is going to be easiest for you. And you want to take the long position tool, and you want to take that and drop it at the 4 p.m. candle from yesterday, which is representative of the previous close. So if you go over, yep, you see that red candle, you're going to put the long position tool at the bottom of that red candle, because the close for a red candle is at the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. And then you're going to drag the green take profit, drag that up to the breakout level, and then tell me what percentage you get.
Okay, why am I not dragging? Let's see.
You got to grab it by the top left-hand corner, like the little blue circle that pops up in the top left-hand corner. Now take your take profit and drag it up to that level. Yeah. And then tell me, what percentage does that say?
14.58.
Exactly. 14.58, which is below 17%, which means I would not have counted that breakout. Like, I don't count that breakout on my dashboard at all, because the stock wasn't up enough for the day for me to count that as a breakout. The
and
stock
that's
has to be
17%, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So now we've actually made a new high at 341 now. So we just made that high at 8:30 a.m. So now what we can do is we can do the exact same thing, set a horizontal line at 341, and then take a look at our long position tool, and then tell me what percentage that is compared to the previous close. So you're going to delete the last breakout level that we had, because we wouldn't count that one.
I'm going to delete
the first horizontal line that you made, the $3.30 one. Yeah, you can delete that one.
Right.
Yep, perfect. Now take your long position tool and drag it up to your new horizontal line. Yep. And now you can see that level is 18% above the previous close, right? So now this is a level that I would count. So now this is a stock that would be in play for us if it breaks that level. So now what I do, that I have a high that is up at least 17% from the previous day, I'm going to right click that horizontal line. I'm going to go to create an alert, and then I'm going to click at 341, news and movement, include extended hours, and then hit save.
Okay. So you're not going to touch this until it hits 341.
Exactly, until at least a 5-minute candle closes above that level. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, because I just need confirmation that this actually has momentum. So that first pullback, it's like, okay, sellers hopped in. Now let's see how buyers react. Like, our buyers going to step in and push this back up, or is this just going to continue to pull back? Because a lot of these stocks just continue to pull back. So for me, I'm going to set that alert, and then as soon as it breaks above that level, I'm going to get an alert on it, and then that's when I'm going to watch the breakout, zoom into the 1 minute time frame, and see if we can get that green light special set up.
Okay, this makes much more sense now.
Yeah. So now, like, for example, that's the process that you would go through in order to make sure that you're playing the right levels, because I don't want you playing the wrong levels, because in some scenarios, like, you may have played that first level, and then you're going to hear me say like, oh, Meg, I wouldn't have played that level, like it wasn't up enough for the day. So you just want to make sure on those ones that are close like that are like only up maybe 15, 16, 17%, you just want to double check how far the breakout level is up compared to the previous close. And that's how you do it with the long position tool.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, another easy way for you to do it too as well, I always have ChatGPT pulled up, and ChatGPT has like voice mode on it, So what I'll say is like, if you click on quotes, like, you'll be able to see that, what ticker were we on? I clicked away. What ticker was that? NRXS.
Yep.
So let me pull it up real quick. NRXS. So NRXS, if we click on quotes, you can see that the previous close was $2.88. What I'll do is I'll go over to ChatGPT and I'll say, hey, yo, chat, the previous close on this stock was $2.88. My breakout level is $3.41. What percent is 341 above 288? And then it'll tell me, right? So you can do it with the long position tool. You can talk to ChatGPT either way. I mean, either one will work. It's just whatever you prefer,
Okay. Sorry, I cannot mute Ross. There we go. Let's try that again. Okay. Okay. So wait, the previous close on this was 288, and that's because we're looking right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for NRXS, I mean, that's where you had that long position tool at. So if you take a look at that 4 minute or that 5 minute candle at 4:00 p.m. from yesterday, that
Yep.
5 minute candle closed at 288.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. For some reason, I'm looking over here, open lows, previous close, but you just told me.
Yeah. Remember that previous close right now that's showing in pre-market, that's not
Right.
from last night. That's from 2 days ago. That's from Wednesday's close.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, I mean, right now, I mean, this market is pretty dead, not giving us much opportunities. So
No?
just so you know, there's a myth that Friday is the worst day to trade. Just so you know, the numbers don't necessarily back that up. If we go off win rate.
So just be patient. Don't take a FOMO or a jackass trade.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So on Fridays, you just got to be a little bit more patient. Make sure you wait for your setup. I mean, a lot of times what I do, like if I don't have a call or if I'm not doing a live trading session with you guys, is I'll just be doing something else. I'll have my alert set and then I'll be doing something else. And if anything hits my alerts, I'll pull it up. I'm ready to take a trade. And if it doesn't break out, okay, like I'm just moving on, like I'm doing other work at the same time, and that keeps me busy enough to not over trade and not take setups that I have no business taking.
This is perfect because that's what I'm doing is I'm just staring at the screen rather than having these alerts set up.
Yeah.
And taking FOMO and boredom trades.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like, if we really wanted to trade right now, I mean, like we could, like, there's all these stocks have plenty of volume. Like PRPH has plenty of volume. AZI has plenty of volume. I mean, we could definitely be taking trades on these things. It's just at the end of the day, for me, when I'm trading and I go on some type of losing streak, there has to be a system in place for me to know why I'm on that losing streak, right? And it's like, if I don't have that system in place to tell me and give me feedback, it's like I always feel like I'm gambling at that point. And that's what made me want to backtest all of the data, is because I can't stand the feeling of gambling with my money. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm going to gamble, I'll just go down to the casino because we got them over here in Puerto Rico, So for me, I try to stick to the data as much as I possibly can because I know that's where I have the advantage at.
Okay, which makes sense. I love doing this, but I will not gamble. And someone asked me, well, what's the difference? I'm like, well, I can control this.
Exactly. Yeah, I can control this. I can backtest the data, and I can find the advantage here in the market compared to everybody else. Because you just got to keep in mind that 99% of retail traders are unprofitable. First of all, like 99% of traders are losing money. That's number one. But then like number two, on top of that is like also 99% of traders Also, don't back test any data whatsoever in our strategy hopping, right? So whenever you have a strategy that you stick to, and especially if you've back tested it, you have like a very, very clear advantage if you can stick to it. So, and then the problem after that is just having the discipline to stick to it, which is what I'm going to work with you here over for the next 12 months.
I truly feel better over the last 2 days than I have over the last 2 months.
Let's go. I
And I
love to
only
hear
lost
that.
like 12 cents yesterday. So that was a win.
That is a win. Yeah, that's a win. And remember, like having a no trade day is completely fine. Like having a no
Right.
trade day is 10 times better than having a red day.
Absolutely.
Not only for the bank account, but also too for momentum and like your mentality as well. Because once you have a couple red days back to back, like that's really when you can start to revenge trade and start going down a deep spiral.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Thank you. This was awesome again. I think I'm more excited for Monday than watching the paint dry today, but
Yeah,
I'll
for
set
sure.
my alerts. And if something's exciting, then we'll hop in.
Yep. And I'll also post it in the chat as well.